Hi and welcome back to my channel. My name is Eva. This is Eva's Vegan, where I share all things simple and sustainable living from the perspective of an environmental solution, ethical vegan and activist. So I want to show you my zero waste vegan kitchen, or parts of it, of how I make them less impactful. Got myself coffee. Let's get to it. This is my pantry. Very pretty. This top shelf is baking stuff. Here is like all my nuts and seeds and toppings and all my peanut butters, nut butters. Down here, all of my staples, so rice, pasta, beans. And then on this side, I have everything that doesn't fit in those jars, so more nuts, grains, nosh. And then these are protein powder scoops, which we just save up and I use them as measurements. Here is my tea and coffee shelf, so I have all my teas, more teas, coffee beans. Up here I just have my flour and my oats, which I grind down myself, spaghetti, noodles that I get loose, and then behind there I have some like protein powder and like shake stuff that I got from a past Best Before place. These are nice jars I got from my grandparents. My tea jars are all small pasta sauce jars, and all of my jars with all my extra nuts, seeds, oats, nosh, stuff like that. These are all olive jars. All of these jars here, which are also the jars which I freeze in, and these are all pasta sauce jars. But yeah. So all of our spices live on this spice rack with these little containers. I got these as a gift a couple of years ago, and I just refill them at my local package free shop. Spices I don't use much of, I get in small amounts. In terms of my sauces, a lot of them still are in packaging, but we don't get through a lot of sauces because we don't really eat like a lot of processed foods, so things that I would usually have like ketchup with, we don't get through a lot of it, but next time I buy ketchup I probably will just buy in glass. Some of the sauces I do make myself or refill. So this is vegan Worcestershire sauce that I made myself. Some other things I get refilled are my soy sauce, and then this is balsamic vinegar. Some oils, which again I get this refilled. I do have my own homemade or home infusion oils as well. So this is olive oil infused with bird's eye chilies, and this is fresh basil and garlic. So they just kind of sit on the side. My cloth drawer, a weird thing to be happy about. So I don't have any kitchen roll in my house. I've never used kitchen roll. I use tea towels. So I have all of my tea towels here, and when I need a new one I just take them out and I use that. And then behind my tea towels I have all of my hankies. I have jars around my house just full of hankies and they're really useful. I have all of my cheesecloth scraps. So this is what I use to make my oat milk. I pour my oat milk through it, and these smaller scraps are what I use to put on top of my apple cider vinegar when it's brewing. On this row here, at the front, I have all of my sandwich bags. So these I made myself. Inside of here is an Ocado plastic bag. And then I stitched fabric to it and made it like a sock. And then behind all these are all of my produce bags. All my produce bags I make myself from scrap fabric, like this is old bedding. So these ones here are all of my cleaning cloths. This is from an old cotton jumper into cleaning cloths, and I use them around my house, and they're just cotton. Yeah. All of these are old face cloths that I found secondhand in charity shops for like 50p for a pack of 4. And I use them to clean my dishes, like as like a dishcloth and around the surfaces in the kitchen. And then I do have some microfiber towels here which I use on glass and windows. I would like to replace these, but again, like I have them, so there's no point me wasting them, even though they do release microplastics, but they're going to release microplastics wherever they are, so I might as well use them. That's kind of how I see it. So most of my utensils are secondhand. I started my sustainability journey before I moved out of my parents' home, so I had loads of time to go around charity shops and pick things up, and that's exactly what I did. Is I went around charity shops and I picked stuff up. A lot of these are second-hand or like hand-me-down. Yeah, but otherwise all of this stuff I found in charity shops. On a knife set, I did buy them brand new because I didn't want a knife that had like cut up an animal's body. All of our cutlery as well is all second hand. And we even got quite a lot of it. We got like a box of vintage cutlery for Christmas one year, and a lot of that came from there as well. And then I keep all of my cups and plates in this cupboard here. And yes, so we got this beautiful antique set of plates, bowls, cups, saucers. We did have a teapot, but it broke. We got this from an antique shop in Essex for £35, the whole set. There was more, there was 10 plates, 10 of everything, but as time has gone on, things have broken. But that's definitely a more sustainable way to consume stuff, is by buying it secondhand in a set. And it's also like way cheaper. Like, I couldn't imagine paying full price for stuff because it's just ridiculous. A lot of our glasses, in fact all of our glasses and glass mugs, are secondhand, apart from these jars, which I spent a long time collecting before we moved out so that we could have matching jars, and we still have all the lids, so it's really nice and useful. So I also really wanted to share with you my pots and pans, because if you didn't already know, non-stick pans, some non-stick pans and Pyrex dishes and stuff can be really harmful to our health, and I also didn't want to spend loads of money on pots and pans when I had to buy them, and I wanted to be as sustainable as possible. So I chose to go down the second-hand route, and luckily someone in my family was moving over to an induction hob, so they had some stainless steel pots that they weren't using, so that I had those. But one of my favourite pots and pans, I guess, are my collection of vintage enamel and cast iron. So these are just some of them. I have 3 orange cast iron pans. I've got a really big enamel pot, a cast iron casserole dish, and I got another cast iron casserole dish for Christmas, which was new, but I would love it forever. And then in terms of all my other baking stuff, I have all of these beautiful vintage enamel kind of baking dishes that I use in the oven, and just some baking trays, which are also secondhand. Literally everything here is secondhand or I've stolen from my family home. Like this, no one was using this. No one bakes my family. In fact, I think this is from a microwave. I don't know whose microwave. It's not my microwave, but yeah, I got that from there. And then I have a loaf, a ceramic vintage loaf baking thing, and 2 little pots for yummy desserts. So next I really wanted to talk about the electronics in our kitchen, because obviously buying new electronics has a pretty hefty environmental tag, price tag I guess, or like impact tag. So our kettle we got from a family member. It was their backup kettle they bought about 15 years ago. So because it doesn't keep the water hot, it's not insulated like a lot of eco kettles are, so it's kind of like a built-in flask. We usually keep a flask next to the kettle, so when you boil the kettle, you put the excess boiling water in the flask, and then you can use the flask to make tea later. We then also have a coffee machine. This coffee machine grinds the beans as and when you want a cup of coffee, which is great. We got it off of eBay. It has no pods, no bags, no nothing. You just compost the ground when you need to empty it, and it is just wonderful. We both love it. I think we paid about £100 for it. Definitely worth it. Got it quite a few years ago now. I have 2 blenders because one is not enough for me. I have my Kenwood Multi-Pro. I've had that for 4 or 5 years now. I did buy it new. It was quite an investment, but I love it. It's also our scales. We then have a second blender, which is a NutriBullet off of eBay, and it came with all the attachments, like all of the bits, for £35. So if you're looking for a good blender, NutriBullets are very good. I then also have an Instant Pot. An Instant Pot is it's like a rice cooker, but it's like a 7-in-1 rice cooker, so you can even make yogurt in it. I've never tried making yogurt in it, but it's basically just a pressure cooker, and it's just really convenient if you're a busy human like we are. I love my Instant Pot. I use it almost every single day, and I have since I got it. But yeah, so I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, comment down below any content you want to see from me, subscribe if you haven't already if you enjoy this kind of content. Have a beautiful day, stay kind, and I'll see you next one. Bye!